for it to go live. Now we're live. I want to murder everyone in the world. We'll just lead with that. I want to fucking murder every piece of goddamn shit in this goddamn world, even the good people, because you all ain't producing enough smart fucking people. And I am so fucking pissed right now. Do you know what's holding up my audiobook?
What's going on?
Well, the audiobook, right? The book of numbers, right? I worked, I wrote, I did. Then I sent it to Kevin, which you gotta adjust for his millennialness. You know, he's a millennial. He's not going to operate ever at full adult capacity. He'll never live a normal life. He's a millennial. He's a complete fucking tard. And I like Kevin, and he's the best. He's the best, Chad. He's the best narrator we got. And I get these files. I'm like, Kevin, did you audit these? Did you listen to them first before you found out whether you shat all over them or there were mistakes? So I get to spend 3 fucking hours, thrice 9 hours of my time auditing fucking audio files that this dumb shit should have done before. And he's the best in the business. This is the best in the business. I'm building to a bigger point. So I got the audio files. After much tooth pulling and babysitting retarded millennials, I got the audio files. They're all ready to upload. I go to ACX, which is Amazon's Audible site. That's their parent company or whatever. I got the files. Got the image. We're ready to go. Guess what I get stuck on for 2 fucking hours? Because there's some Nazi Karen fuck over at ACX.
I can't wait to hear this.
The image, the book cover.
Oh.
Like the book cover.
Yeah.
Kind of like, well, I'll just take the image of the girl and I'll move the thing. Because it has to be square. Most book covers are rectangular, so this has to be square because, well, we're fucking Audible. We're fucking so jizzerific. So I'm like, okay, I make it a square. You know, I move the edits around. Doesn't meet our standards. I'm like, okay, well, I'll change this. Doesn't meet our standards. I've been spending 2 fucking hours uploading a goddamn motherfucking book cover for fucking ACX. And all this production, all this effort, like I could have been doing something else. I could have been jerking off to porn. I could have been doing drugs. I could have done anything else. But I'm wasting 2 fucking hours because some fucking Karen from the last time I uploaded an audiobook has decided, oh no, we're going to get more anal retentive than a fucking Wisconsin Nazi Synod Lutheran about anal sex. And so now the audio's ready to go. We're ready to go. We're ready to make money, man. Ready to make money. Let's go get that GDP. Let's go help people out. Fuck no. Some cunt, some fucking bitch, some fucking Karen over at ACX is like, and I want him dead, Chad. I want them all fucking murdered and dead.
Do they at least tell you how it does not meet
No. Oh, God Christ, no. Chad, what are you fucking talking about? This is Silicon Valley. There's no person. There's no face. This is fucking talking to the goddamn Borg. Bitchy, cunty, feministy, goddamn Borg. How are you?
Damn. No complaints. I'm trying
to
think.
You seem happier than me for a change.
Well, that's because I got coffee. I'm actually I'm feeling pretty good today. And there's a lot more to this story. I ended up breaking up with about 135 clients yesterday. I might have told you about that. I feel bad about some, but and some, there's a couple that even watch us on here, but I just had to do it. But yeah, I feel pretty good because there's others in there that I was just so happy to make go away. You know what I mean?
Look better. But you look. Your complexion looks good. You look happy. I don't think you always look beleaguered and tired. But today you're happy and smiley, and your skin, I hate not to sound like a girl, but your skin even looks good.
Oh man, thank you.
Well, let's not have a moment.
I know, no, I'm better because I'm always stressed when the new year is coming, you know, tax season and all that. But I think I've set it up where it may be a little more tolerable this year. So we'll see.
Good. Okay. Yeah. So when's my amendment coming through on the IRS? Like 2027? When the fuck is that?
So I arranged with one of the revenue agents at the IRS. As soon as 2 conditions. Your house needs to be finished and Atham needs to be finished with his degree.
Okay,
as,
all right.
As soon as those things happen, yeah, you get your med.
Next thing you're going to say, Rich Cooper and Rollo Tomassi are going to finish their books. I mean, what? And should we also throw in women get thin in the United States as well?
Oh, dude, let's not enter fantasy land here. You know, come on, that's the biggest stretch of all of these.
You know what? Let's do this one super chat so we don't fall behind. Thomas Landrum, $5, just because Chad is here, Mr. Celery.
Oh, thanks, Thomas.
Yep,
Appreciate it.
Yep. So how you doing? How have you been, Vlad Elkums?
Yeah, you know, it's like Groundhog Day here. Maybe for you too. Well, you were traveling.
I was in South Dakota, yeah.
I've just been here. There was a lot more work this year because, of course, there's deadbeats. I had to do a lot of amendments this year, which was kind of unusual. So I've been doing that for the past few weeks. Other than that, man, I mean, I can't think of anything exciting. It's kind of sad.
Well, no. I mean, sometimes I was having that conversation with the GF where it's like, she'll come back. How was work? Well, how the fuck is work supposed to be? It's supposed to suck. It's boring. I mean, there's this, but that's the regular, you know, working at the factory, the 9 to 5, get your job in. And as long as nothing goes bad, that's good because you're making progress towards something. But yeah, there are, I know we'll get to the client's question later. Don't worry about it. But there are going to be months, if not sometimes years, where you're just slogging along and there's nothing exciting to talk about, but you're building towards a better thing. So, I mean, it's that's good news. Nothing bad happened. You didn't have any ill health and you're just steady as you go.
Last week, our dentist friend whitened my teeth. And so I was feeling pretty good about that, you know, for the holidays.
Wow.
Just looking for exciting
Holy
things.
shit. Wow, man.
The world stopped when it happened.
That was pretty exciting. Well, I had a good time in South Dakota because that's where all the adults are. We were allowed to walk in and order drinks and order food and sit where we wanted, and we didn't have to wear a muzzle. No muzzle, no masks. Unfortunately, the poor wait staff and service staff of South Dakota have to do that. But no, we went gambling, went to Deadwood. I looked at the compound.
You guys drove out there, right?
Yeah, we drove out there. Yeah, I hate that drive.
Did you get this? You got this. Well, is this confidential? You know, DT and the Man.
DT and the Man. Yeah, what about them? That's not confidential.
Well, did you see one of them?
I saw one of them. Yeah, no, everybody knows. No, DT does a podcast.
Oh, okay,
bragging about how he lives in South Dakota.
Okay.
These dick suckers in Minnesota get to like worship at Waltz's dick. You know, well, I'm sorry, Waltz's dick. Yeah, no, I saw DT. We had a bonfire and we had grilling.
Okay, cool.
We had cigars, and it was like living in America. So, you know, from 2018. Yeah, it was
must
good.
Have been nice, dude. That must have been really. Everything's shut down here. Everything.
We went immediately across the border. If you come to, and I'll promote these people. I'll promote them because it's always been like this. You're either heading out like, yay, celebration, we're going to South Dakota, or oh, we're going back to Minnesota. Well, we'll stop off here. But I think one of the very first exits along the interstate going into South Dakota from Minnesota, there's a place called Gators or Alligators or Tailgaters or something to do with gators. And it's a straight up nice bar restaurant. You walk in and we walked in there and we had a celebratory drink because we could walk in without fucking masks, without some fucking Karen like, can we get your number for tracking? There was none of that. It was like, hey, welcome. Sit wherever you want. Thanks, we will. And then it was just, and then it was 4 days of just, well, it's a lot of work, you know, picking out tile and dumbass shit.
Yeah.
By the way, Chad, if you ever build a house, the GF has had half an influence on the house because I finally decided you're not making any more decisions or asking any more questions. Women will anally retentively focus on the dumbest fucking shit. And you realize that if you like, because I'm libertarian, right? I don't want to force things on people. I'm for people making freedom of choice. Yeah. And that fucks me in the ass with women. So No, women really need to be told what to do. I'm stating it now. You can't be libertarian with women. You can't say like, yeah, go make a decision, because they will fucking hem and haw for days on what color screws we're going to put in the door hinges. And so you have to say, no, we're getting this toilet, we're getting those faucets, we're getting that fireplace, we're getting this tile, and everybody shut the fuck up. So yes, you were going to say.
No, I had to, and this is only because you have personal experience with this, and I say this very lovingly. Would you like some coffee, Aaron? Say yes.
Yes, that's okay. There's only one answer to that. Yes, I do.
I can give you now what type, how many ounces, and I have these different types right here, and then I've got 6 different types of cheese, and I'll list them all for you.
Right, and Chad, while she's listing her 7 different types of cheeses, let's say right off the bat she lists my favorite. Say it's bacon cheddar.
Yeah.
Bacon cheddar. I want bacon cheddar right off the bat. Is that the correct response when she hasn't even gotten to option number 2?
So unfortunately, that's not going to get you out of it.
That's not going to get no. Like, oh, well, wait. There's more, and she is going to force you to go through all this. Yes. Yeah. So I realized, like, I kind of what ended up happening is 2 girls got together, the GF and the floor lady.
Floor lady.
You'd be surprised how complicated flooring is.
It looks terrible.
When I saw them jibber jabbering, I'm like, boom, done. Here comes a penis. Everybody shut the fuck up and listen to what I'm about to say, because not only am I the man, it's my fucking money. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Boom. And now we can progress again, because I swear to God, Chad, if women were allowed to build a house, it would never get built. There would have to be committees formed about committees to choose what kind of paneling and door hinge. Of the thousands of different items that go into a house, they will fucking hem and haw and analyze. And then what's worse? You know what's worse?
I can't imagine what's worse than that.
They will say, what do you think? Which is a trap, because they just want you to, like, I don't know, be there to suffer their misery of constantly hyper analyzing shit. No. Guys, if you're going to build a house, you go in, you let the girl have the kitchen. Here's your kitchen. And then by about that time, then you're like, boom, 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 boom. And you don't if the woman is the supplier or your wife, say, no, shut the fuck up, and we're doing it my way. And you will have a much easier life.
They need consensus. For the most part.
No, I don't give a shit what women need no more. You all need to shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, either go work, pay taxes, make money, or get your ass in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. One of the two. I don't care. Be feminist, be whatever, but you're either going to support me, whatever it is, you're getting the fuck out of the way. That's what the key thing is. So.
Man, honestly, that sounds awful. Like, I can't think of anything worse than.
It's not. I'm of course playing it up a little bit. I'm skewing it, and it has not been that bad. Like, people said this is like the worst experience ever. It's just I'm very impatient and I want to get it done. And it is a sociological phenomenon, like something to witness and behold, where if you give women control over certain decisions, they will go down to the atomic level. And I'm sorry, ladies, this is one of the reasons you don't make as much as men, is you lose the bigger picture. You forget what the main goal is. And you obsess about, what if I don't like this door handle? Like, don't look, all right? Keep looking at the camera. Describe your door handle to me. Not that door handle. I'm just saying, describe it. Describe a door handle you have in your house to me.
I'm really glad you clarified that. It's gold. It's about yay big, and it works.
What shape is it? Is it circular? Is it a handle? What is it?
Oh, it's circular. Yeah, it's circular.
I'm surprised you even know that, because I was like, I don't know what my faucets look like. I don't know what my handles look like. I have no idea.
I gave you the wrong color because I just looked at it. It's actually.
See, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's my. Right. See, guys, it's a fucking door handle. Women will obsess for 5 fucking minutes over the goddamn door handle, and you'll never get anywhere.
Most of my female clients are great, and I have mostly female clients just because I got niched. There's always that few that anytime a decision needs to be made,
you're not equal. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. If I have to decide for you, then you're a thing. If I have to take agency and control and make your decision for you, you are no longer the sentient human being. You are an object. You're not an agent. You do not take action yourself. You are an object throwing and abdicating the responsibility and the action to somebody else. All right, fine. That's okay. But admit it. That's it.
Yeah.
But then if you make your own decision, I'm going to go with silver. No, it's silver. Silver. But nope. Head choice.
Yeah, I literally never looked at what my door handles look like.
Right, exactly. Now. That's my point. You know why? Because it fucking works and you move on with your life. Your life isn't about the door handle.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm renting.
I'm sorry, ladies, if your life is just so fucking boring that you have to obsess about door handles and faucets and the color of the panes of the. Do I want to cross? I don't know. What do I want? Like, wow, your life sucks.
You want me to read these, or do you want to read them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Laughing Lark for $20. It's the sexy girl on the cover, Cap. That's what pissed her off. I love the cover, and I'm a straight woman.
Oh, I didn't know Laughing Lark was a gal. Thanks for the generous $20, though, by the way.
Yeah.
It could be the sexy girl on the cover. I don't know why, because ACX is the same company as Amazon. I don't know why that would. It's PG-13, I think, at worst. It's getting to the point that I'm going to draw a stick figure of a woman with fake boobies. I mean, it's going to be a very crude drawing. And I'm just going to say, analyzing the ROI. It'll just be a big question mark. It'll be so sophomoric and childish that's what will be on the cover. And if that gets accepted, great.
Shout out to Jack Napier and Matt Forney hanging out in the chat.
Oh, Forney's in the house, huh?
Yeah,
okay, good.
I know about this. DJ Aftershock for $2. Chad, Fairfax so woke that they got a Lee Jackson highway. So this is in Northern Virginia. You know, I spent a bunch of time there. It's funny. They've got these like Confederate name, streets and highways.
Aren't they down in the South?
Yeah, well, Virginia, I mean, that obviously
that was the Mason-Dixon line, right? That was the South. Okay, yeah.
But the issue is that they're so close to woke DC that, of course, the Northern Virginia locals. so there's Lee Jackson, which of course is Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson, and then they have like all these other names of Confederates streets, and I think they're going to try to change them.
Do the Confederate generals get any credit for they fought a good fight? We don't personally hate Rommel. I mean, we would have killed the fucker if we could. Probably did try several times to bump him off, but it was hey, nothing personal, man. But Rommel still carries a cachet. He's a good commander, that kind of thing. I mean, I guess we're beyond that now. We can't. Well, he was on that side and they were on that side, but he was a good general, and we can't respect that anymore, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. That'll solve the problems. Don't worry, all the poor people, the Democrats, will be happy and rich after that. After they change a street name, because changing all those roads to Martin Luther King Drive, that really cured those neighborhoods of poverty, right? That did them down real good, right? Okay.
As long as people aren't offended, you can never have to worry about expenses ever again.
All right.
Adriano Ramos, $2 Australian. How's your dating life going? So I'm not really doing that right now because they shut everything down here, way worse than the first shutdown. What was that, about 3 or 4 weeks ago? So screw that. I'm not going to bother with that.
Even when you were free, your dating life sucked.
Yeah. Good. Burnley is the name of this bad European sports ball team that I like, and they actually won a game the other day. So he's, seeing if I'm happy.
Are they standing a chance at winning their championship or their division or whatever? Or do they just happen to win a one-off game?
Out of 20 teams, they're in the bottom 3, like the Vikings. Stephen Ochoa for $5. Funny how people have been complaining about 2020. It's been one of the best years of my life in regards to accomplishing life goals. There's a silver lining to a bunch of this.
There has been. You've cleaned up your house, right?
Yeah.
You've completed the revolution. I've come out with basically 3 publications. I published How Not to Become a Millennial. Sandy is the Future of Wealth, and then I wrote the Book of Numbers. And I did, and I don't think that's coincidence. I think anybody who has the slightest bit of work ethic just gets so pent up that they've ended up banging out some accomplishments and some production that they wouldn't have otherwise. But no, there's a plus side.
I've made more money this year than I have my entire life. But as I was saying, I broke up with some to kind of get the work-life balance a little better.
Yeah, I after going through this shit with ACX, I think, well, I knew I was already going to take a year off from writing any books, but I woke up this morning very happy. I had my coffee. I had great sleep, great dreams. GF brought me coffee. I'm like, thanks, love. And I was like, and within about 45 minutes, seeing ACX fuck up, I was like, okay. I mean, it's just, and now I want to murder the entire world, as I said. So.
See who's next.
Who's next? Why do you make it rain so much? Jesus Christ! Look at this.
Davey D128 $1.99. Mr. Celery, TCF is no more. What's TCF?
TCF was until very recently ago Twin Cities Federal. They're a local regional bank, and they're based over in the Waizaze, as you. I think we even drove past it. Maybe I took you around Lake Minnetonka.
We drove around that, yeah.
Okay. All right. So you went past their headquarters, which you wouldn't notice because it looks like a very quaint German train station. They merged with Chemical Bank out of Detroit, and you could immediately tell we were now chartered or headed up. You could tell who the senior partner was in that merger because customer service went to shit. The site went down. And then when I walked in, all the advertisement was for not white people. And it was in a suburb where there was nothing but white people. And I'm like, oh, something. And then their online banking didn't work and it went crashing down. And now, 8 months later, this new entity that is still finally getting shit together is being merged with Huntington Bank.
Oh, that bank sucks, dude.
I'm moving my stuff out of quote TCF Huntington because it was already a shit show to begin with. Like, I went in and ordered checks, regular old checks, right? Checks. You know what they sent me?
What?
You remember those old school pallet of bank or company checks that are like a foot long, so you can write $100 million as if I was doing like multi-million-dollar deals here. Yeah. They sent me a pallet of that shit. I walked back and I said, "What is this?" Like, oh, and it was like $120 to have this pallet of checks. I'm like, I didn't order this. I ordered business checks, regular size. And so I had to actually physically go in 3 times to have them refund me the money. Like, well, you have to come in person to have us refund you the money. Yeah, you know what? Take your diversity hires that you hired in Detroit, okay, who are all about having their heads up their fucking asses. Get the fuck out of my life. And so now I'm just waiting until I move to South Dakota. I'm going to choose one bank. It's all going to be headquartered under there. But yeah, I will be leaving TCF because I can't imagine what's going to happen now with Huntington. I can't imagine now.
Quick story. I might have mentioned this on a previous stream. So they opened up, you've been to my office. They opened up a Huntington bank last year right across the street. I needed quarters, right? So I try to go to the bank because it's closest.
Oh, foolish man. You thought you were just going to get quarters from a bank, huh?
Dude, I couldn't even get in the bank. They have this like metal detector thing. They're the only bank I've ever seen do this. You literally can't get in there unless you it's like going to the airport. You have to take out your laptop, empty your pockets.
Right.
So I just said, fuck you. And then I gave him a 1-star review on Yelp and went to Bank of America, which is right next to it. And they don't let you do that crap.
Even Bank of America is a shit show. I'll be in the market for a bank. I'll be in a market for a bank. And it's just what it really boils down to. Don't put that down, you dumbass.
I'm covering the stuff.
And then your address is right there in the top left.
They can my office address.
Oh, your office. Oh, that's your office. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
But I like Chase. I do, believe it or not.
I'll get to Matt Depp. Deep
$4.99. Ooh, interesting one. I recently left a corporate tax manager job to start my own CPA firm. What tips do you have for starting out a firm, mainly pricing and getting clients? I have to assume
for $5, give him the shortest, cheapest fucking answer because that is at least an hour answer.
Well, I don't know what type of work he's trying to do, but I'll just say you have to start with your family and friends to get off the ground with any type of CPA firm. And that's all I can really say for $4.99.
Yeah, for $4.99.
Well,
Oh.
I'll be fair here. Pricing and getting clients, just go. I don't know what services you're doing, but go to other CPA firms, pretend that you're interested in their services, and just find out what they charge, and then go based on that.
Okay, who's this guy? Do you know this guy?
DJ Aftershock for
Man,
$5.
we'll let anybody into this show. Jesus.
My name is Tina. I live in Reston. My cucked hubby works for Booz Allen, and I demand Thomas Jefferson High abolish the admissions test. FX Karen. So Thomas Jefferson founded the where I went to undergrad at the University of Virginia.
Yeah, that's right. He did fund that. I do remember that. Yeah.
And it just sucks because the school is turning a little bit, liberal because they're pissed at all these statues, and they're basically trying to denounce the founder of the school just because he allegedly had slaves, back in the day.
I don't know if it was allegedly he did.
Well,
have
he did.
slaves.
He did.
Yeah. This is why you don't donate to charity. This is, I mean, I'm not joking. There are so few people I want to pass my money on to. And this is a problem bachelors are going to face because a lot of us bachelors are getting married. We don't have kids. We're accruing wealth. And it's like, well, who do I leave it to? I'm getting pretty darn close to the position of I'm going to convert everything to cash and burn it up. Now, the Federal Reserve would just print off more money. So it's like, okay, I got to give it to like you or Atham. But you guys, if I die, you guys are not too far behind. You're going to face the same problem. So there's going to be this amazing amount of accrual of wealth that's going to have to be left somewhere. And it's just going to go to a bunch of Marxist, leftist, parasitic dipshits. That's what the future of the population is going to be.
What about Lucifer and Geronimo? Because my nephew is going to get everything.
No. They're 3 and 6. So yeah, I don't know later, I don't know what they're going to become like later, but I've had enough kids where I'm like, okay, this might be someone I can endorse or sponsor or champion, and then they go and they fuck it up. They become normal dipshit Gen Z kids, I guess now, and they major in dumb shit. I'm like, I'm not endorsing you. Uncle Aaron didn't come up with all this wisdom and program you and tell you all these things for you to go do dumb shit, but they always choose dumb shit, which is where I realized, smart and right as I am, I don't counter 13 years of K through 12 education, let alone college, and they're all going to go that way. So like the day is coming, Lucifer and Geronimo, bar a miracle from God, are probably going to go leftist. They're probably going to major in dumb shit. They're going to do dumb girl things. They're going to, once the hormones kick in, they'll watch the Cardi B show or whatever. And then it's like, no, I'd rather give my money for you and Atham to piss away on hookers and blow. Seriously, go piss it away. If I die, I'll have you guys in the will. Go piss it away on hookers and blow. Or Lucadora masks. But don't give it to these dumbass kids that are just going to piss it away and like, I'm going to go party in Uptown. Oh my God, I'm at Wicker Park. So I bought my girlfriend some bottle service. No, not a dime of my money will go to bottle service for your BFFs or the Thunder Down Under show. It's going to go to you and Atham smoking cigars or something. It's not going to go there.
Let's see who's next. Jerry Oaksmith for $10. Here, I gotta get my tongue ready for this one. Good morning, gents. Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
Very well done. Very well done.
She sells seashells by the seashore. Yeah. Andrew S for $2. Rommel almost killed the mustache man.
He might have. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that? I think that's
no. We got a couple more here. We'll inevitably get to the question.
DJ Aftershock for $2. I wonder when the Asians in Fairfax will wake up. I didn't even know they had a lot of Asians there, but I haven't been there.
Asians have been, I think they've been in the United States too long. Unless like you just recently came over from communist China, a lot of the Asians have been Americanized. And now they're like, oh my God, I'm oppressed with my $150,000 a year average income and my graduate degree. I'm so oppressed by the white man. It's like, really living over there with that car, you? They probably won't.
Nah. Scott Ludke for $1.99. Ludke. What's your opinion on credit unions?
They're for, how can I put it? you got your private banks up top, right? And large commercial banks or your Goldman Sachs, well, they will have private banking services, of which you and I have a colleague in common who required that because he happened to recently come into some wealth. And so those are your top notch. You will get a private banker assigned to you. Nobody here qualifies for that. Then there is your higher end banks, your Goldman Sachs, your whatever, Dane Rauschers. They might have a commercial banking. They'll take that in. Then you have your large corporate banks like your Wells Fargo's, your Banks of America, now apparently Huntington Fifth Thirds Bank, whatever the fuck that is. And they are your monster corporations that treat you like shit. Then you have a group of bankers who couldn't make it in any of those, and that is your small community banks. And this is where your morons are. If you get rejected from a loan from Wells Fargo, that's a pretty good sign you shouldn't be borrowing the money first place. But these small little community banks will lend to you because they're basically ran as charities. Beneath that, if you're still so tarded as an individual, then you can bank with a credit union. Now, sometimes there should be a caveat there. Sometimes credit unions have associations with other unions or entities like actual unions or teachers unions or the local 567 pipe fairs, and that's okay. They'll give you a pretty good deal. But you have basically been flunked down to remedial school, and you're not going to get a commercial loan. The service sucks. The people are morons. Like, not only have the clients been kicked down, if you couldn't work at Wells Fargo, this is where you're working. Now, if you couldn't work at Wells Fargo, Wells Fargo didn't want to bank with you. That's how bad it is if you're looking at a credit union. So if you like slow, dumb, and folksy service, yeah, go to a credit union.
The only thing I want to add about credit unions is that I had almost everything with USAA. And they had a good reputation to be
right, but they're associated with the military, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right,
And my dad, I get it because of my dad. But a few months ago, and I had most of my investments with them. A few months ago, they totally sold out to this really shitty other credit union called Victory Capital.
Okay.
And I'm so pissed about it. I'm pulling everything.
Was that headed up by a bunch of Carlson School of Management graduates? Because like Victory Capital, bro, we're a credit union.
It wouldn't surprise me if some idiot group of MBAs screwed up that company. They're terrible. They're
horrible. What will happen? And for those of you who don't know, there's things called CUSO, CUSO, Credit Union Servicing Organizations. I worked for one because once again, the worst employees get kicked out, and it's basically an amalgamation of different credit unions. And that is also for the retarded, both clients and employees. Credit, like if they're fine for banking and they're so desperate, you could probably get a really good mortgage rate from a union because they're just so desperate to do business with anyone. So if you walk in with a credit score above, 3, they're like, oh my God, someone has a positive credit score. Which, yeah, you can. But like if you walked in with a good credit score, say 700 and above, they will bow down and worship your dick. You might be able to leverage a pretty good interest rate out of them. But like, don't expect customer service. Don't expect their online banking to have their shit together. And certainly don't expect like an ATM or something if you go a 20-mile radius or away from their main headquarters. It's just not going to happen.
Let's see what's next. Nimble Fred for $9.99. Happy holidays. You guys are courageous and amazing. Well, thank you.
We're also brave.
Yeah, stunning and brave.
Did I tell you on the book that I wrote, the book of numbers? So I went through 900 dating profiles, which had me appreciate the suffering and pain you go through online dating at a whole new level. It was absolutely. But not most, every single mother to amazing. All the kids were amazing. They were all amazing.
Yes.
There's no retarded kids. There's no average kids. Every kid of a single mother is amazing.
You forgot one little part, and they are my whole world.
And they come first, right? I mean, it was scripted, and I kind of expected that. I wasn't necessarily shocked, but I was shocked. Like not once. Like, couldn't you come up with a different adjective for your kid? Like, oh, he's an interesting kid. My child is very eccentric. No, it's just amazing. And it just shows you the words no longer have meaning. No, your child is not amazing. Your child is not Doogie Howser. Your child is not the Planet Show with the nerds and the physicists. You have crotch fruit. That's really what you have. You have average, standard issue, single mom crotch fruit. Your child is not amazing. It's just you've had such a sucky life and have accomplished nothing in life. When you spit something out, you're like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's like, well, no, it's not. It's one of 150 billion humans that have been birthed on the earth. Yours is just the most recent one. So
I'm just waiting for somebody in the chat to be offended. But nope, I think everybody's with us.
I think we purge all the sensitive people out of this.
DJ Aftershock for $5. TJ STEM High has now abolished its admissions test. I have a story about this because it was accepting too many Asians and not enough blacks and Hispanics, according to Crusaders. So Thomas Jefferson High School, it's like one of the top magnet. It's like a magnet high school. It's in Northern
Is it
Virginia.
public or private?
So it's public, but I mean, you have to apply to get in. It's
okay.
Yeah, and before we left to go back overseas, my sister actually spent a year, freshman year of high school. She got into this thing. Ooh. I remember the people, and some of them ended up at undergrad with me. Like these kids were just total tools, dorks. Like they had no social skills, and they were just unbearable to be around. Just So I think
black and Hispanic kids will kick the shit out of them, give them a little street smarts. That'd be.
Now, this was in the early 90s, and it seemed like they didn't really have any diversity at that high school back then.
Well, I mean, no, and I guess not. But here's another thing I worry about, and this speaks to the black and Hispanic community. I'm sure Juan and maybe Dre and other guys will talk to it. There's like this soft soy boy, effeminate effect. It's happening to other races as well. It ain't just white people. Like I've ran into some black kids, and I'm like. What the hell? Like, what? One, unplugged from the fucking, like, almost you want to say, look, dude, go play some basketball for God's sake. What get stop watching the show. Get that tablet out of your hand. Yeah. And we have clients, or I have clients anyway, that, like, it's a Latino and my single mom, I'm like, it's a pandemic. It's going across racial lines. So I'm wondering, like, are we going to get Mortimer, who happens to be black? Or what's another nerdy name?
Randolph,
right? Randolph, the Hispanic kid, right? I'm picturing. Okay, fine. You quote lowered your standards for affirmative action reasons, but mark my words, there is no shortage of soy nerdy, like unsocialized, no street smart, no roughed up minority kids too. And so I don't know if it's really going to, I have a feeling they're going to go in there. Fine. You got a great IQ, great GPA, whatever, but I'm still going to get them as a client later. Like, how do I get my penis touched by a girl? How do I get my pee get touched by a girl? It's like, fuck. But don't worry. Karens in Fairfax County will be happy that they lowered the standards.
Karens. I think there's one. Well, no, there's a few more.
We got a lot more. We're
I have till noon, just so you know. So no.
I know we got to get to the thing. Yeah, we got to get to the thing. Leasing a car.
James G for $2. Leasing car for your business write-off. No. The thing with leasing, people think that you can just write off the entire monthly cost of the lease. It's 100% dependent on your business mileage, meaning your business mileage is, let's say you drive 12,000 miles in a year, but only 1,000 of them were business. That means 1/12 of your monthly leasing payments can be written off. So unless you're doing a shit ton of business driving, I wouldn't recommend leasing a car.
Here's unless your company is paying for it, if you are looking at leasing a car, you are a loser. That means you can't afford it and you have not saved enough cash. And you think, or you think you need to have a fancy car to impress people. You are in the wrong business, sir. Wrong business.
Sales, so not so much anymore, but salespeople used to lease cars because, they wanted to have nice looking cars. And it's basically 100% deductible because when you're a salesperson, you're driving all over.
Right. Yeah. No, if you got the mileage to warrant it, then I understand. Yeah. But I'm just saying, look, we can't just say, well, based on your adjustment, now they got to worry about a matrix. Look, dude, if you're in the business, if you're in the world where you think I got to lease a car, you're fucked. Something's wrong. Either your finances are wrong or the company that says you need to present an image. Fuck that company.
Yeah. Shane Walsh for $5. Chad, I went to UIC in the early 2000s. Chicago had some great broads back then. UIC is the University of Illinois at Chicago. It's downtown, basically, a little south.
By
And
Italian Village, right?
oh yeah, a little bit further, basically, Little Italy. And you know what? I'm sure that in the early 2000s there were far less overweight people. I'm not even going to just say women, like far less overweight people in this city than there are now, because there are a ton of fatties out here.
Funnest time in my life was 1997, downtown Chicago. Just and it wasn't even that like, oh, I'm gonna bang them all, or but it was just nice. They were beautiful girls. They were wearing dresses. I'm sorry you guys missed out on it. It was terribly. I'm sorry. They were fun and they liked to dance. They liked to go out on dates. It was wonderful.
Not anymore. Juan, the Aztec patriarch, for $5. How necessary is a credit card? I've never had debt and currently just use a debit card. Not sure if credit cards are really necessary.
I would get a credit card anyway to build up credit in case the time comes you decide to buy a house. That's about the only reason I think about it, Juan. And now maybe this has changed, but debit cards, I think people can, if they hack it, they can get all your savings. That happened to a buddy of mine. So debit cards are bad. I think, Juan, because of the responsibility you have being the father of 14 children from 5 different mothers, because you're a whore. But joking aside, you're responsible enough, Juan. You're not going to go run around buying flat panel TVs or Ferraris or nothing. You're paying the same thing with your debit card. Really, I'd cut your debit card, close that account, not the account, close the debit card part of it so no one can hack it. Just get a credit card, pay it off every month, and you'll be fine. It will build up credit that in the day you decide to move out of California and buy logically in Las Vegas, Nevada, then you got a credit score that's higher than, I guess, no credit. What are you, 500, 550, maybe 6?
Question and a comment about this.
Okay.
Does Spirit Airlines offer like a credit card, like a reward card?
They might. I belong to the $9 fare club. I'm a pretty elite class member. $9 fare club. Mm-hmm.
The other thing, because you made that joke about kids, somebody in the chat Google Calvin Murphy. He's a NBA player from the 70s. Go take a look at what his personal life is like. That's all
I don't want to. How many girls did he get pregnant?
I'll let somebody in the chat check this out and tell us. It's just unbelievable.
It's so sad that you go and you work that hard as an athlete, not just the NBA. I mean, this happens many other places. And then you go and impregnate a bunch of women. And then you think, you're a lot, especially football, your average career lasts what, 4 or 5 years before you're injured out or you gotta retire. You're not all Tom Brady playing into 42, 43.
Stupid.
I'm just saying, you have enough kids, that money goes away.
Of course. It's the athletes that when athletes retire, because they had so many, illegitimate children, they're broke, they're bankrupt. So that's it.
Is that my problem?
No, it can become mine if I got to try to piece together their taxes, and I have had to do that here.
Really?
So, yeah.
I say no, we don't do that here.
Dan Hunsaker for $10.99. $10.99 Master Race checking in. Yep. I just learned about a Wisconsin tradition and was wondering if Clary has ever had a cannibal sandwich.
Yeah, that's where you get raw meat and you put in a bunch of broken up, diced up peppers and onions, and you just put it on a cracker and magically.
Doesn't sound good.
It's not. It's like Braunschweiger. That's real a Milwaukee treat. It's gross. There's a reason nobody really likes Wisconsin. There's a reason nobody goes there. There's a reason it's like no one says, let's go vacation in Wisconsin. People are pretty dumb. Yeah, we did. It was all right. But for the most part, like Minnesota and Wisconsin, they're not Americans. They're not exciting. They're just the most boring cultural people. I mean, at least the Utah, like, okay, pick on them as you might. They got Mormons. Well, that's kind of nerdy. Well, at least they're Mormons. They stand out. Pennsylvania. Oh, yeah, they got Amish. Well, okay, they're kind of boring, but they stand out. Wisconsinites, Minnesotans, like, I don't know how boring milky toast do you want to be? So, yeah, do you want to eat shitty food? Come to Wisconsin or Minnesota. It's just nothing.
That was
but I have
funny
heard of
how
it.
when I was on my way back, you remember all those Amish people were getting on the train?
Yeah, all the Amish people, right? I don't know
That
where
was
they were
funny.
going.
They were going to Chicago for some reason. They all got off the train there.
Wonder why they go to Chicago. Like I don't never seen a lot of Amish walking around Chicago.
The only thing I think they might have been doing is maybe they had to change trains at Union Station to go to
Oh,
Pennsylvania or Ohio or
that would
something.
make more sense. Yeah, yeah.
James G for $2. Thoughts on buying a house in Utah? Great market.
Yeah,
Salt Lake
Utah's
City.
great. Go to Utah. I'm pro. It has a state income tax, but man, they like their guns. It's the most beautiful state in the United States, I believe. But yeah, I would absolutely go to Utah.
It's a question for Rob says. Judd Grover for $2. Wait, women were once thin and wore dresses? Wow. Yeah, those days are gone.
Back in the before time, there were. I remember even going to college, girls would dress up in dresses occasionally. Like people would comport themselves well. It wasn't common or the standard, but yeah, now it's and women were thinner back then. They were still somewhat unacceptably overweight, but there was you could rely, like you turn your head like, oh my gosh, you'd have to turn your head multiple times because there were that many good looking girls. Now you don't even look, even if there is a good looking girl, because you just assume there are none. But no, women, the numbers I did for the book of numbers, yeah, women have gotten way fatter in the past 30 years, way fatter. So there's not a lot of hot chicks.
It's like you've heard me say many times, like the unprecedented levels of single cat lady women that are going to be a reality this decade is going to be staggering.
You and TJ Martinell are 100% correct. I was, I was pretty like, yeah, you can work at it and and I'm still of that opinion. But doing these numbers have made me incredibly sympathetic to MGTOW and Black Pill folk. Because I'm like looking at, I'm like, yeah, this is just unacceptable. This is an insult. Men should be pissed off and insulted. Just how delusional and shit quality women have let themselves go to. And this is not to say men are entitled to women.
They're getting fat. Yeah.
But it's like you look at this like, no, I'm not. No way. I mean, in men, to look at it a different way, men are going online to have a fake romantic relationship with a girl on the fucking internet through fans only, or they're choosing that over you. And we can all criticize both men and women. There's a lot to be criticized, but the day is coming and it's upon us very soon, where there are going to be tens of millions of bitter, pissed off spinster women. And I cannot think of a better movie because the movie theaters are closed. So this is going to be a pretty good movie.
I'm concerned because those people they vote and they may end up being the majority. So what the hell is that going to mean for us?
I have no idea what weird Twilight Zone Orwellian nightmare that's going to result in, but I'm trying to, because it's not going to be about money. They already got the welfare state. Women are already voting for socialism disproportionately, and men, younger men as well. What I'm worried about is the social laws they're going to try and pass. Like, do I have to marry a fat chick? Are we going to have a thin tax? Are we going, because already I got to look at fat, ugly models, no matter where I go. You can't go to Target and see a good looking person. Is there going to be a bachelor tax? I mean, just what sick fucking twisted social laws are they going to pass? I don't know. But we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah. Busako man for €2.29. Can I join burning your money on hookers too?
No, you don't burn your money on hookers. You invest wisely in hookers.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm now more thoroughly convinced of than I was before. You are going to spend more money I'm going to rephrase that. Regardless of your age, because younger men make less but have more time, older men have less time, make more. Regardless of your age, you will spend more in resources trying to appropriately court a girl to date her, to have sex with her, than if you just pay for it.
Yeah.
I would almost say tenfold. It is always cheaper to pay for it. And I've always been, in a libertarian sense, very pro sex worker. I've been like, yeah, no, do whatever, by all means, go ahead. Now I am even more so, not just because of political philosophy, but the economics is compelling. Like, you might as well, because there is no upside to doing it the old school way. No way. Pay the fucking money, be done, move on. And you and I have had some colleagues who are very accomplished men who've come to that conclusion empirically or through their own trials and tribulations. Yeah. And so now I can see the math and the numbers. I'm like, oh yeah, just that right there alone is worth buying the book of numbers. So you realize, holy shit, I'll save way more money than the $15 I dropped on this book.
Yeah. No message from Mitchell Christ Superstar for $4.99. I'll see if he puts something under that, because sometimes.
Okay. All right. Definitely, we should get to the question, huh?
Yeah. No, he didn't say anything.
All right, cool. Well, you want to go to the question?
Sure. I got it up right.
You got it. Go ahead and read it and do your dance.
Okay. So, hi, Clary. Would you be able to get Chad and do a video on some alternative routes for public accountants? In a recent video, Chad mentioned you don't want to be a controller for a company and how it comes with a lot of bullshit. Those are the sorts of things it's worth considering and knowing. What are some options you'd recommend for a CPA with a tax background? I know the exit opportunities are said to be less for tax accountants, and I would like to have a successful solo practice one day, but food got to be kept on the table until that happens. I know part of the key success is doing shit you don't like, but I just don't think it's reasonable to keep doing the long hours these cocksuckers want throughout the year, especially for what they're paying. Am I being unreasonable? And this is just how it is. What's your opinion on this, and what would you recommend? Now, I want to compliment this guy first, because this was not a wall of vomiting text in terms of a question. He kept it pretty, he kept it brief and to the point. And I just think, now some of this is a rant for my shit, because clients send me emails that are like this big.
Oh, yeah.
When
you
they
saw the video I sent you, right? Remember the video I sent you last night?
Yes. So you guys, you don't have to tell your whole fucking life story on these things. I mean, I know you probably mind this less than I do, but I mean, I get so many emails where all you had to do was like 2 or 3 bullet points. You don't have to send me paragraph after paragraph of unnecessary details. I mean, doesn't that happen to you?
Do you think they really hire you just to do their taxes? Do you think people hire me just to solve their problems? You and I, okay, we're not, but they view you and me and everyone else. They always use somebody to a certain level as an emotional tampon.
Oh yeah, some of my clients do.
Right. And either because they don't have friends or whatever, they want to tell you their problems or they want to break. Now, I have tried to take as much Zen and judo to this as possible to just charge them more. But I can understand where you have more or less the goal of doing taxes. You're like, oh my fucking God. But you still have to charge for that. And I would charge double. Because like I'm starting to get it now where I'll get that. Remember that video I sent you last night? And it was 3 pages of just text, no paragraphs. Yeah. I literally railed. I said, fuck you, you worthless piece of shit. It's $150 just for me to read this eye-raping crap. So you gotta charge more in it. But yes, for everybody listening, especially you youngings, get to the fucking point. Because old, tired fucks like us have opportunity costs. Namely, we could go make money somewhere else. And if you're going to bother us because you got to excrement your vagina juice and use this as an emotional tampon to talk about your feelings, fine, we're tripling our prices and we're charging per hour. Or you could go hire a therapist or maybe get some friends or maybe here's some suck it the fuck up and deal with your own problems and move on in life. But as you employ either Chad, a CPA, me as an asshole, or a firefighter or whoever, give them the key data so they could get the fuck on with their lives. And it'll be cheaper. It'll be cheaper.
Speaking for my clients, and maybe yours too, if I need more information from you, I will ask. I'll say, thank you. Here's a couple other questions I have. You don't have to vomit it up like this in an email.
Do you remember the scene from The Accountant where what's his name? Ben
Affleck.
Ben Affleck. He walks in and there's the female and she's like sleeping, like the accountant who worked all night doing.
Anna like, Kendrick, yeah.
Yeah, and so she was kind of cute. I was like,
she's very cute. I
like, hey, well, how you doing? And she's like, I did this. He's like, okay, thank you. But he's like, thank you. He said, I did that. And he's just like, he wants her to go away. And like, that's almost every conversation I have with somebody. I'm like, I have the information I need. Get the fuck out of here before I slice your goddamn throat. You know, and people don't pay. They think like the other person isn't there. and they just, it's like, now you may go. All right. So go ahead and answer this kid's question.
All right. Let me pull it back up again here. So the thing with this is that I'm not saying he wants to take shortcuts or anything, but nobody is going to hire you to do their taxes if you don't show that you have some kind of background in it, whether it's working for a company, long hours during like a busy tax season, or really just demonstrating that you have knowledge of this. And I just have to tell the guy, you got to suck it up. Like, do it. You have to get this experience for 2, maybe 3 years. It doesn't have to be public accounting, with the crazy busy season and everything. The one of the easier ways in terms of experience is to do what I did, which is work for the IRS, DOJ tax, and US tax court. Those can be hard jobs to get. And one of the only reasons I got them is because I was already living in the DC area. So that may not be an option for this person. But other than that, like if he was sitting here on the chat with us, I would say to him, I'd say, why should anybody hire you to do your taxes or to do their taxes? Like, what are you bringing to the table? So he didn't really say how long he's been doing that job. And I'm still not even sure what he's been doing. He just says, yeah, I'm working long hours. There are no shortcuts with this. You gotta get the experience under your belt. You just do.
I think a better way to put it, I don't care what industry you're in, it could be accounting, it could be any field. You're going to have to get fucked in the ass for a little bit.
Yeah.
And the more you guys fight it, the worse it's going to be. All right. Now we're trying to give it to you the easiest way possible. Like, remember that one guy we had on, I think he was not white. And his question was like, should I go and play the Big Four game?
Oh, I remember that guy.
Because they're giving me preferential advantages. And we basically concluded that yes, you should, but only because we've lubed up the Big Four's dick enough to fuck you. Like, we're trying to give you the most lubed up, painless way possible. But mark my words, you're going to get fucked in the ass. And the more you fight it and try and find a way around it, that just means they're going to add super glue and broken glass to the dick they're going to fuck you with, and it's going to last longer. So you're going to put your 2 years of hell in. You can either accept that, stop fighting it, and it'll be over soon, and then get on with your life. Or you could spend 4 times the amount of calories of energy and time dicking around trying to fight it, but inevitably having to get fucked with the broken glass dildo. And so that's kind of what we're just saying.
He did not say anything about the CPA. So that's a concern. We get this question sometimes. People bring it up. You know about the enrolled agent certification,
right?
Like you just study and take a test. It's not even close to as hard as the CPA exams, or as long. I would just say to him, look, if you really want to go out on your own and you just decide to take the EA route, your odds of being successful are far lower than the CPA, because CPA is essentially marketing at this point. You got to show that you're at the top.
Is getting the CPA a dick up your ass?
Yeah, but you got to do it.
Should he fight it and maybe put sawdust and Tabasco sauce on it and fight it as it's being tried to shove up his ass? Or should he accept the CPA dick up his ass and welcome it so it can be over with, so that you might be able to move on?
I mean, it's not going to be fun, but if you really want to do this, you got to get fucked in the ass with this. It'll take you a couple of years. Maybe they'll pay for it for you. The exam.
Hang on. More philosophical question. Are you saying that to make a lot of money is not going to be easy? Like, almost as if it would be an axiom that if it's easy, everybody's doing it. Or if it's fun, everyone's doing it, like being a teacher. And if it's hard, nobody wants to do it. But then by somehow the law of supply, there's less doctors, there's less CPAs because very few people, because it's hard. It's almost as if doing things that are hard almost guarantees you higher compensation. I mean, am I being an economist here or what?
I mean, to me, that's as simple as A plus B equals C. Like, you can't.
I know. What it boils down to is all you dumb shits keep asking for the easy way out. And you piss off Rich Cooper, you piss off me, you're pissing off Chad. How is the easy way to make lots of money? Like we'd fucking tell you if we knew. The easy way is to suck dick, have the thing shoved up your ass, and suffer. Early, quickly, and be done with it. Stop asking, what's the easy way? There's no easy way.
I want to give him, to be fair, I'll give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt on this. If you do this, if you're just balls to the wall, you're working hard, and 3 years have passed, and you're still in the same place, and there's no hope of progress, then you're not doing it right, because you need to have already had your certifications, and you should be networking. So to be fair to him, if you're there for, if it's been 3 years and nothing's happened, then, correct. You should not be in that situation anymore. You should have moved on from it.
All right, good. I think we helped him out. So
I hope so. I mean, he's probably not going to like the answer, but I don't have any other response.
You know what? That's a better answer than like, well, just keep doing, and someday hope and change and hope. You'll make it, get a client. You keep going to. Have you ever had any success going to networking, meeting, client, business networking?
Dude, to me, there is no greater hell, because, I'm introverted. People sap my energy all the time at these damn networking events. And I know you've been to them. Anytime you talk to somebody, they're just trying to sell you something about them, and you don't care about them. And it's just, it's horrible.
When I get to hell, by the pure power of the hatred I have within me, I will get out of hell and go to heaven. And I don't want to go to heaven to stay there, but I'm going to find what baby boomer fucks that accidentally made it into heaven, who told me, you got to get into business networking. And I'm going to drag those motherfuckers back down to hell with me. Because those lying sacks of shit, not only were lying, but my God, they wasted your time. And it is a painful experience going to these networking meetings. It's just, dude, that's worse than prostitution right there, where you got to feign interest in what some dumb shit has to say. If you let it work for PricewaterhouseCoopers alive,
yeah. Just one more thing to add. If you do just want to get the EA, that means you're going to have to work for H&R Block or some other accountant for quite a while before you're going to be credible enough to try doing it on your own. So, yeah. Young Sykes, $5. You can pay for a pro, but the problem is even the pros are a lot of quote unquote BBWs who think they're the bee's knees. I think he's talking about prostitution.
Yeah, prostitution. Well, I guess you would just go online or make sure it's them. I mean, it has, okay, maybe I don't know. Well, I don't know. Has it gotten so bad now that even the prostitutes are posing Photoshop pictures of themselves so that then when they show up, is that what's happening now?
The answer is yes, because remember,
you're kidding.
I have a few clients in this industry.
You
just
do.
A few. And, a couple of them, they look good on the internet and they look good in person, but there's also another couple who pictures are airbrushed. Like, they are way fatter in real life than, well, not way, but they are fatter than you would see on their OnlyFans. Dude, OnlyFans has become so saturated at this point.
But that's OnlyFans. I'm talking like, did you guys have back pages when the Chicago Reader was out?
We did. That got shut down 3 or 4 years ago.
I know it got shut down, but okay, I've never called a prostitute. I don't know. All right. So I'm only speculating, but I presume on back pages, what you saw is what you got and we're talking OnlyFans, which you never meet them. That's digital. Are you saying you have to actually go now in person to find the girl? Like, I'd like to hire you. And that's the only way you can verify. Or has it become so debased, so bad that even sex workers are now, I understand marketing and dressing pretty and making yourself look the best to be, but to Photoshop yourself and make yourself 80 pounds lighter, that's false advertising. Is that happening now?
Dude, if they're doing it on the dating apps, they're doing it on, in this regard as well. It's just what they do. And most people look worse than they do when you meet them.
See, I got a couple buddies in Vegas who they will go and get a gal, not a prostitute, but the girlfriend experience. And then I'll meet them, like, oh, hey, who's this? And I've learned now, like, if she's pretty good looking, don't ask how they met. And they've looked pretty good, like, oh yeah, that's an attract. That's kind of how I know to shut up and not ask, because she's a good looking gal. So I guess you gotta, my God, it's come to the point you gotta vet. You're sex workers. Oh my, throw in the towels, guys. You wonder why I sympathize with MGTOW. I have my criticisms, but my God.
I kind of agree. I'm not going to knock somebody if they're like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
No.
Okay. tax exemption,
Bubble.
tax exemptionable for $10. I'm volunteering for the VITA to learn how to do taxes. Is this a good idea? What else should I do? I have a full-time job. I'm just trying to learn extra skills in case I want a career change. So the VITA is the basically the volunteer tax program where you do the taxes, relatively simple taxes for those who can't afford to hire
For the
CPAs.
losers and parasites that were paying welfare. Yeah, I got it. For the welfare and parasites. Yeah, I get it. Who'd like, I didn't know I had to pay my taxes. Yeah, those assholes. Yeah, okay.
Like, I'm not against what he's saying. Even years ago, even I did this long time ago. But the thing is, they don't actually train you on how to do this. You have to go in and already know, you have to kind of know how to put together a simple Form 1040. We're not talking business schedules or anything. I support it, but you're going to need to have a little bit of training before you go do that.
They're not kidding. These people aren't going to say that. They're just going to.
Dude, should I just thought of business. Should I just, not just your, our fans or clients or anything, should I just like put on my website, I'll train you for X amount of hours just to do the basics of this stuff?
I think you should. Why don't you do it? I got a better idea for you. Why don't you set that up through Teachable?
Oh yeah, Teachable.
That is, now they got a great platform. I'm not just plugging them. They don't pay me. I use them. And it takes a little bit of getting used to, but then you realize, oh, wow, they are very thorough. If you put together, like the Elkums School of Accounting, and you had some key things like it's not to get accredited, but like if you look, college doesn't teach people shit. They don't teach them skills. So if you went, here's how you do a 1040, or here's what it's like to be how to become an enrolled agent. There's an entire suite of classes you could offer. Some not terribly long either, but you could charge a good $100, $200. And that's going to be cheaper than them going through college or never getting the information themselves, let alone paying us assholes $150 to answer these questions. So I absolutely think there is a market out there. Like if you were to like put together a suite of classes that you think would help people in their accounting profession, absolutely. We pimp it out and then they wouldn't have to come ask us. They go and take the class and boom, and be very thorough.
Yeah. If Donovan, you and some others market it for me. We'd
do good. Yeah. Who's this asshole?
You know what? He seems familiar, but I just
kind of ugly. Did I see something on the ground hiking? And oh no, that's a human. I thought was a pile of poo wearing a hat. Oh, it's
had some problems handling some stuff going up.
Did he smoke pipes? What is he? Does he steal my cigars?
There's a rumor, and actually it's a legend, that he ate 3 desserts within the span of an hour
in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, those are good desserts.
Those I could only handle half of one. James G for $2. Utah, Salt Lake City Metro versus St. George Metro. What was the name of that town we went to? We
went to Cedar Point.
Cedar Point, okay.
Which is north of St. George. It depends what you want, James. Both are fine towns. Now, Salt Lake's going to be a little colder, but they got mountains, like real ones. St. George is more canyons. That's on the far southwest corner of Utah. If I had to choose, I would go St. George, only because it's closer to Zion, a little bit closer to Moab. Oh, that's on the other side of the state. But everything in between St. George and Moab is awesome. Like you got Capitol Reef, you got Bryce, you got Cedar Breaks. That's just the most amazing spot ever. So I'd do St. George and Alvaro's.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Mexican place, that was in St. George.
That was in St. George. Yep. The best Mexican place I've been to in all my travels, Alvaro's in St. George. Now, that being said, I like Salt Lake City too. Like if I skied or if I was a winter sport guy, I would totally go to Salt Lake City, but I hate the winter. Some people like cold. So I would absolutely go to Salt Lake. I mean, it's a big conservative town. There's not a lot of traffic, mountains all over the place, but but do you like the warmth? Do you like the cold? What do you want?
I can get into this another time, but I mean, I spent one summer in Salt Lake during an internship.
Right,
yeah. And this was 10 years ago, so I don't know what it's like now, but man, I had the time of my life that summer. I really did. It was so much fun. So I like Salt Lake.
Yeah, you know what I would do is fly to Salt Lake and hang out there. Like if you got a month, spend 2-3 weeks in Salt Lake, check out the area, but at least spend a week down in St. George. And keep in mind, in St. George, there's nothing really going on in St. George except for Alvaro's. You're there to go to Zion. You're there to go hike the Grand Escalante. You're there to go to Vegas if you want, because Vegas is only 2 hours away. I think St. George, though, it's not really a community. That's just where you sleep, and then you go and you hike around outside of St. George.
ISO talks for $4.99. Someone in my MBA program has a CPA, but doing the MBA now. She said she only made $60K in public accounting and was hired. Does that mean MBA is greater than CPA? That could not be further from the truth. Any dipshit can get an MBA. You can get an online MBA. MBA is just meaningless. CPA carries, okay, I'm biased, but CPA carries a lot of weight, and you got to work for it. So
I'm kind of surprised if she has a CPA. Well, she was working in public accounting. Yeah. Of course, they're going to keep her wages low. She's got to go strike out on her own.
So yeah, the reason she's only making $60K in public accounting, and frankly, that's kind of on the high side if you're entering the Big Four. So she entered it. She probably did it for a year or two, and she has her CPA because she got her CPA study materials and exams covered by the accounting firm. So this is very consistent with how it usually works.
Well, and
it's like the guy.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's like the guy who wrote the email. I think maybe he's stuck in this area where she was, and he's going to have to do the work to get certified.
Wait, what was that again?
Well, you remember the guy that he just wrote us the email, and he's like
the sun is setting on a set of eyeglasses.
Oh yeah.
You could barely see.
Yeah.
And there's no shirt.
He gave me my nickname, so yeah.
yeah. I got to read his book next, The Unplugged Alpha by Rich Cooper. He was kind enough to promote my book. You know, Rich is, you all pick on him, but he's a good guy. Don't tell him I said that.
ISA talks for $1.99. I meant she said she was bored. Of course you're gonna be bored. Like, do you think I wake up every day and I'm like, oh, forget working out, forget watching TV, forget hanging out with friends. I'm gonna do some accounting. It's boring as shit. I have to know
how do they get to my channel watching this and think work is gonna be fun? Like, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I mean,
guys, I wanted to kill and murder everyone in the world earlier today. I still do, because a fucking image won't upload. You think it's fun doing it? No, this is the fun part, me and Chad yelling and cursing. But they're like, Chad's got to, you go hit him up March 15th. See how happy he is. At 2 a.m. You go see how happy he is. Guys, look, I guess I want to focus, or maybe we can distill down this axiom so everyone can understand it and incorporate it into their mind. If it's fun, there's no money, because everyone wants to do it. And yet at the same time, you need to make money. All right. And the only way you make money is a per unit of time. So per hour is how we measure our wage. Now, the more it sucks, the more you're going to make, because there's that much fewer people in there. There's also demand, though, too. Like, if there's a huge demand for it, that'll also drive it up. But guys, there's no way around this. There's no dude, bro, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to sell insurance. I'm going to do drop. Knock it the fuck off. You're wasting precious fucking moments of your life that should be spent investing in learning hard shit and then doing hard shit. And the sooner you fucking do that, the easier your life will be. That's the easiest fucking way. I'll do another example. Chad, what is the easiest way to get the girls?
Pay for them.
Huh?
Pay for them.
Okay. That's the second easiest way. Never mind. Touche. The second easiest way to get the girls.
Be successful yourself is the only thing I can think of.
Well, define be successful.
Oh, well, back to the money thing. Either be rich or be at your physical peak and have confidence.
Go to the fucking gym and get as ripped as you possibly can. That's it. Chad is successful. His love life is miserable. It's a mess. He's horrible. He's a failure. Look at it. My God, I'm surprised he's still living.
I have my good days. You
have your good days, but my point is, go to the gym. Well, most of you don't want to go to the gym regularly enough to get into that physical shape that you're in the top 10%. Well, that's the easiest way, because it's a hell of a lot more painful being charming, nice, working out a little bit, being successful, working hard. Fuck that shit. Go look. You know who has no problems? No problems getting the girls.
Dan Bilzerian or whatever his name
Okay,
is.
all right, but related to him, the guys from the Thunder Down Under or the Chippendales. All right,
Oh, yeah.
what do they do?
They get all ripped. They're these sexy, and yeah, that's how they get.
Yeah, so if they're not performing, what are they doing?
They're working on their body. They're
working out. And Baldoni knows these guys, and he talks to them. That's all their lives are, and it's miserable. They got to like tan and not drink water right before the thing, and they got to put oil on, like the level they go to. Now, I understand if it's not worth it, right? But that's what you got to do. If you want to get the girls, that's easier than going to get in a fucking MBA and slaving away 8 hours a week at some office stuck in a basement looking at spreadsheets.
I just want to add
it's still going to be painful.
So of my, cam girls, sex workers, strippers or whatever, when I talk to them, do you think that they actually enjoy this stuff that they do, or do you think they consider it work? Right. It's according to them, it's not fun to be doing.
It is work. Do you think they gotta they like typing and setting up all this shit? Absolutely. I sympathize with them 100%. You think a gal likes going out with a guy when he pays her? She doesn't really like the guy. It's work. She'd rather be at home, I don't know, petting her cat, watching something.
So just because some people think it's easy work, maybe a little easy, but it's not something they enjoy.
I'll tell you this, it's different. And it beats banking every day. But my God, I'm not kidding. I want to find out who's over at ACX and strangle the motherfucker who's preventing an image from being uploaded. I mean, it's shit like that.
I got 15 minutes. I guess we ought to.
All right, let's go through and we'll get through. Get out of here.
DJ Aftershock for $5. Dude, bro, I'm hanging out with Chad and my old man in Vienna. Dude, we're going with my bros to Tyson's. By the way, my wife Tina from McLean is protesting Lehigh. So DJ Aftershock clearly knows a hell of a lot about Northern Virginia, because these are all places in Fairfax County.
I thought he meant Austria, but obviously there's a place over there called Vienna.
The only quick thing, so I spent 2 years of elementary school I went to in Vienna, and I told you this once before. Guess who was also in school with me?
Spencer, Richard Spencer?
No, that was college. This is the mayor of Minneapolis, Fry.
Oh, Jacob Fry.
Yes. He was at Oakton Elementary too. So, yeah.
You beat the shit out of him. Oh, wait. Endorse him, support him. He just makes Minneapolitans' lives miserable.
He was a grade below me too, so. Swallow Blue, $5. When are you going to update your website to HTTPS? Google going to start making non plus HTTPS accessible through its search engine.
When I get the fucking image uploaded at ACX, and I can upload the audio files, then I can do my taxes, then I can choose door hinges for my house, and then maybe somewhere down the road, I'm okay if I don't have a ton of requests over at Asshole Consulting. It's been because I have other shit on my plate to do. That's what I got to do after this is a bunch of asshole consulting that built up. But yes, I will switch it to a secured site, Swallow Blue, but it is not mission critical right now. And I could use a fucking break. I could really use a break.
$2 Canadian from BPNP. Cappy's top 3 exercises. Hiking.
Running or hiking. If you're out west, I hike. If I'm here, I run because there's nothing to see out here. And then I do bench press and dips for my upper body, and then I do just regular pull-ups and curls. That's all my workout.
It's fucking snowing here today.
Sucks to be you.
The next is Digi Nomad for $5 Canadian. How is that 3.28% treating Chad? Did Six Figs help you dating, Aaron? Tell us now about looking up past dates on Facebook in 2020. Chad, it's not your fault. Cheers, beers. I'm not.
Have you read my book yet or no?
Just parts of it. I haven't.
He's citing all the numbers and statistics and quotes, and he's being very clever.
Oh, okay.
A lot of inside jokes. And if you read through the book of numbers, you know what? I'll paste that in the comments section here. There. It's paperback and Kindle. Obviously not audio.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when do you expect the audio to?
When that fuckwit Karen over at ACX gets the fuck out of my way and allows me to upload a goddamn image.
So 2028.
By the time Atham gets his degree, yes.
Athens in the chat, by the way.
I know we already busted his
Oh, that's
microscopic small balls. We had to
That's
like
right.
get him there they are, bust them.
Who is next? $9.99 Guardian Knight. If drug cartels would go public stocks, is it wise to buy since it's skyrocketing and becoming legal, or since they're uncentralized business, they'll go after them and extract their resources like Iran? Dude, there and there. There's two different.
Here's the problem. If it becomes legal, then they lose their profit margins. That's the only reason that drug cartels exist. And I'm afraid if it becomes legal, your Pfizers or Mercks or Bayers, even chemical companies could way outproduce the cartels. And I think what would end up happening is they'd hire the cartel people on as like experts, like, okay, how'd you make that so pure? There's some genius level innovation in capitalism on the part of cartels. I cheer on because they're the underdogs kind of, and I'm libertarian. But I think the economy is the scale of your larger drug firms would put them out of business. And so they'd have to go work for that. So if it became legal, the cartels would go away. If they went public, they'd become more, I think they become the marketing arm. I think they become more marketing. And in an ironic sense, they'd be richer because of the capitalization of their profits in the form of their public shares with a lot less risk. There'd be a lot less deaths. So it'd be a net positive for the cartels to somehow not only go straight, but go public. But that would require a lot of machinations. And if you made it legal, that would put the cartels out of business overnight. They'd probably kill you if you did.
Well, so they've had medical marijuana in Illinois for a while, but in 2020 they made it legal. And man, dude, the dispensaries here are just crushing it. It's all in cash. And I did, well, this is part of, I did have one guy who was basically a drug dealer, but he had a business to sort of front it. Dude got ruined because everybody's now doing it legit, going to the dispensaries. So
what might happen is if governments try to tax it so high, then there'd be enough profit margin. We just sell it and not pay the taxes. But then you would get the cartels on tax evasion is what you do. But
it was really depressing to do his taxes this year because he was just like,
I know it sounds bad. I mean, the drug cartels are not the greatest people in the world, but I'm like, you want to talk about some innovative shit and telling the government to fuck off in freedom. It's kind of like you kind of want to cheer them on. And that level of creativity and innovation, it's like, man, I wish we could employ that in the straight or legit sector. All right, let's get the Shane Walsh here because you got to go in 8 minutes.
Shane Walsh for $5. Salt Lake City is not conservative, and he's right. The mayor is a Democratic woman with a gender studies degree. It's becoming Portland or Austin light. Thanks, California. I think he's right about that.
He might be. I just, when I was there, I enjoyed it. I didn't have any problems with it.
Quick thing. Today is my mother's birthday. So if you happen to have time to shoot her text.
I will text her. I will not call because I made the mistake of calling the last time, and 33 minutes later, it finally ended. So yes,
don't
text
call.
Mrs. Elkins. Yes.
I have to call her. Mitchell Christ Superstar for $19.99. Wow, that's a nice one. Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
St. Clary, have a Pokeball on me. Thanks for all of the wisdom over the years.
Thanks, Mitch. That will actually afford, not only will that afford a Pokeball, that'll afford with the extra fixins, if I want extra jalapenos and I want the quinoa and not the rice or the noodles, that's a high-end Pokeball right there.
And the GF maybe too.
Yeah.
So who's next? Ooh, what's that currency?
That's Indian rupee. Rahul's he's our East Indian agent in the field.
I wonder what the exchange rate is on that.
Remember the James Bond with Roger Moore and he went to India?
Oh, yeah.
And he had his Indian contact. That's Rahul. That's our buddy over there now. Yeah.
He just says morning. I guess it's morning over there. I mean, it's almost noon here.
No, it's night over there, isn't it? It's probably 11 p.m.
Yeah, or maybe 1 a.m. or something. I don't know.
Well, hey, Rahul, how you doing?
Evan Iyer for $2. How much cash do you recommend to keep at home? I guess he means literal cash.
You probably keep $1,000 at least.
Do you have a safe? I was about to buy one of those.
I got a crappy safe for my guns. just so like kids basically, because like, a real serious robber could just take it. But it's more to keep like when I have kids over here, they don't toy with them. Although they're kind of young, they don't even know what a gun is, but let's not take the risk.
Yeah.
But no, those are two things. I should have more cash at home. I keep very little cash, and I should probably have a more serious safe than what I do for my guns.
Now the next one's one of my favorite super chats.
I can't see it.
You can't see it, and I can, and I think everybody else can. It's the same, like it's a cat or a fox that's farting hearts. They're like
farting hearts.
Farting
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, it's no doubt that's him. Good thing he spends all of his time studying chemical engineering, so we have safe chemicals and drugs in the future.
Problems.
Are we caught up?
Yeah, there's one more, and I like.
Oh, wait, one more. All right,
because you can't see it.
Can't see
Judd
it.
Grover for $1.49. Now this one, it's popcorn. It's not a moving GIF. It's just a bunch of popcorn. So guess he likes.
Is he just eating the popcorn?
It's literally just a box of popcorn sitting there.
See, now this is what happens. These assholes come in with the $2 deals here and there's super stickers and all that. You're the one that has to go. I can sit here all day, guys. I can sit here all day.
So James G for $2. How do you rank these? Arizona, Nevada, Utah. We went to all of them here in Vegas.
I've been to all of them, like in terms of taxes and where I headquarter, where I domicile. Nevada, Utah, then Arizona. Utah and Arizona are very close. What I like the most, Utah, Arizona, Nevada. I think Utah is much more pretty. Arizona's prettier than Nevada. Nevada's kind of really bleh.
I know we drove through it, but I haven't really spent time in Arizona. No. Atham. Okay, you can't see this one either.
Can't see this one either, no.
It is a big pile of shit with a face on it, a smiley face.
Right. That is what Atham is. He's a big pile of shit with a smiley face. That's what he is.
And for his next one, which is $1.49, it's just a dog, a solitary dog just sitting there who probably left the shit from the previous.
Probably left the shit. Right. You see how clever Atham is? I'm glad he's got important shit to do right now, that this is the best use of his time.
Al Cortez 173, $5. Take my word for it. Accounting is boring as fuck for CPAs. Listening to this as I slave over a spreadsheet. This is what I've been saying for God knows how long. Yes, it's boring. That's why people can pay me a good amount.
The irony is, like, when the GF gets back from work, I ought to have like, how was work? But it literally is like a 5-second conversation. Oh, I did this, because she's an accountant. Yeah. It's not exciting. And then she says, how was my day? Oh, this and that and this, because it is a little bit more interesting. And I'm going to murder everyone over at ACX because they don't let me upload a fucking image. Yeah, but there's not like, and when we hang out, unless we're talking about how frustrated you are or how you're managing your business from an entrepreneurial perspective, I don't ask you, how was it entering debits and credits or doing person Z's 1040 form?
So the things that make me miserable in my business, it ain't the work. So you do the math, but the other side of the equation that makes me crazy.
The people side. Oh. All right, good. We're all caught up. Plug your stuff.
You can find me at elkincpa.com. I'm pretty much full. You can email me, but I probably can't take you on. And my dad and I do have a tax guide out. I don't think we're going to do one for 2020, but we still have.
Why would I?
And we got one more super chat.
Hey, look at this guy, our buddy from Canada. Yeah, he comes in and out.
$4.99. Chad, would you hire a web development intern for your accounting firm? I don't really need my website is fine. It's just like a virtual business card. I don't need anything snazzy.
Yeah, mine is pretty static as well. So, all right, that's it. Well, everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the show. Even though it wasn't a show, it was a consultation that lasted an hour and a half. And check out the Book of Numbers, paperback and Kindle. And when Atham graduates, it'll be up in Audible book as well. Will you take us out appropriately?
Toodles.